your left, 50% chance of dinosaur attacks.
Hollywood is converting the world-famous studio tour trams to become electric vehicles. As these trams roll out, guests will be experiencing all the movies.
Now, I introduced, and at our driver, I introduced myself, Brian, your tour guide, just in case you forgot, but I do have one more introduction to make. He's going to be my co-host today. You'll probably recognize this gentleman from his time on Saturday Night Live, or as the current host of The Tonight Show, starring Jimmy Fallon, and apparently I just gave it away. Folks, please welcome Mr. Jimmy Fallon.
Oh, hey there. You made it. Welcome to the Universal Studio Tour. I'm Jimmy.
So I was thrilled when Universal invited me back to Skull Island, and it's great to have you along for the ride. Now, we have created this 3D immersive experience, so you're going to have your glasses ready. Don't put them on yet, but just have them in your hand because we're about to return to Skull.
Now, as we do... George Lucas got in a car accident during American Graffiti and went through the windshield of his own car during a rainstorm, and that's how he envisioned what hyperspace was going to look like. So much. Why would you spend extra money on a sports car in the Flintstones when you provide the horsepower? Don't you get a discount for the exercise? I don't know. Over here on the left-hand side, you see the gyrosphere from Jurassic World? Notice how there's no sphere? You ever tried to take a selfie in front of a window and you got to do that whole dance with the camera to keep it out of the shot? It's impossible if it's a sphere, so we created the sphere in a computer so we can make our own reflections. That tank on the left-hand side, known as a Bradley infantry fighting vehicle for the movie Transformers. However, that tank is less than meets the eye. The reason why is that entire vehicle is made of plywood and particle board. Yeah, you know why? Tanks are heavy. See, you try and drive a tank through downtown Los Angeles, you're going to be repaving downtown Los Angeles. However, if you make the tank out of plywood, you get forward really deep and the T-Rex bends over, breaks the glass. Was not intended to happen that way. The T-Rex fell over, but the kids didn't stop acting because no one yelled, "God!" Well, folks, allow me to introduce the three funniest Dilophosaurs here on the lot. That's Larry, Moe, and Curly. Just don't get it. 50% chance of dinosaur attacks. It's because it's just half a dinosaur. Stick with me, folks. The jokes don't get any better. Over here on the left-hand side, a forest of faux flora. Real fancy way of saying a whole bunch of fake plants and trees. Do you know why those are important? They can't die. Even more important because do you have any idea how hot it gets on a movie set? Each of those, now if you were making a movie here, this part would not be happening. Those headlights would stay off the... Oh. See, that is exactly what happens when it rains here in Southern California. That is a totally accurate effect. It's getting very close. All right, so you guys want to see a little movie magic at work? If you look over the other side of the bridge, you're going to see a little ramp, and all the water that just came down is running down that ramp. At the end of that ramp is a high-intensity pump. That pump is sending the water all the way back to the top of the hill, so the next group that comes by gets the same flash flood you did. Exactly. That was the San Antonio movie studio. At the beginning of the movie Three Amigos, that's where they got fired at the beginning of the film. And the one in the corner, that was the home of Nacho Libre in the film starring Jack Black. Now, if you're wondering why I'm talking like the Micro Machine Man, it's because if I don't finish that whole spiel before we end up here. Our very first year of filming, we made 200 Westerns in 365 days right here. Also, if you've been watching the show Quantum Leap, and you saw the episode where Ben's song went back to the Old West on the roads. And that's because we need to let our trams and other cars drive through here, which means on the left-hand side, you see that chapel? That was from the movie The Birds by Alfred Hitchcock. Now, next to that, see these windows? Look through them. Notice how you can see right through them. We're at the halfway point of the tour. We are on private property. If you do your restroom or drop a cell phone, please remain seated. Use the red cable and do not attempt to leave the tram on your own. With one telephone. I don't understand that. If you're a resort and you have to take reservations, how do you do that with only one telephone? I don't get it. Well, folks, is the Hill of Identity Crisis, or that's what I call it. Once upon a time, over 100 men stood on that hill and claimed to be Spartacus. Only one of them was right. On the left, the building with the blue door. That is the building where the biggest will they or won't they question in all of Hollywood history was answered in Kermit the Frog and Dracula, the Mummy, and the Invisible Man is right over there. You know who they wrote the movie for? Frank Sinatra. Much different version of John McClane, who's at the end of his career. So there is a lower level, which is made to look like a BART station at the moment. Upstairs now looking like kind of a street scene from San Francisco. We know it's San Francisco due to certain things like the sign that says Embarcadero Plaza. That's called a payphone. So that's what was a predecessor to the cell phone. Like they were everywhere. You had to Folks, just a reminder, please turn the flashlight on your camera off. Okay, this might be getting a little bit more serious than I thought. We're gonna hold on real tight here, folks. Everything's oh man, okay, the ceiling's coming down. Now we got a truck. Okay, the pole, he's gonna hold. Pole's gonna hold, but now the floor is on fire. Folks, since when is concrete flammable? I don't remember that from my history lessons. Okay, the floor has gone out. Everything's good. Everything is good. Except that now there's a high voltage cabinet on the right-hand side of the tram. Oh, come on! Okay, folks, quick safety information for you. Should the tram become submerged, you can use the person sitting next to you as a flotation device. If you don't know the person sitting next to you, just simply introduce yourself. It's the polite thing to do. Congratulations, everybody. You just survived earthquake. The big one, representing 8.3 earthquake on the Richter scale. That is what's known as a large-scale mechanical effect. It also creates one of the greatest earthquakes in the world. Do you want to know why?